From scarcity to abundance, how to break free from financial limitations. From scarcity to abundance, how to break free from financial limitation. Genesis 41 verse 40 says, Pharaoh affirmed there, you shall be in charge of my palace, and all my people are to submit to your orders. By God's grace, in today's video, I wish to share with you how you can break free from financial limitations just like Joseph. Welcome back to Awaken Mind Global. In this particular channel, I discuss with you how you can actually use the law of manifestation in order to attract abundance, as well as be able to get whatever you want, to raise your vibration. I remind you that you are a mortal God on this earth, that God has given us the capacity, the vibrational frequency, the grace to actually attract and manifest whatever we want. So if you only follow me to the end of today's video, you will get another amazing package. But before then, please give this video a like so that YouTube algorithm will also shift it to other people that need it. So may God bless you. So if this is the very first time you're finding yourself in this beautiful family, are highly welcome. Please kindly hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always stopping by. So without wasting time, let's dive in. You see, abundance is not something we acquire. It's something we tune into. It's something we connect into. It's something we believe. And it's something we bring into existence. Because God, in His infinite mercy, created this world out of nothing, and we see everything existing. That is how God expects us, out of nothing, to bring into existence what we need. Now, you have to understand the mindset of scarcity. Let's look at what scarcity thinking is like. In book of Genesis chapter 41, verse 15 to 26, you see Israelites being afraid of famine. Yes, they are afraid of famine, because so much so that they have to get up from their own country to go to Egypt in search of what they felt they don't have and what they see in abundance, right? Only to get there, it was their own brother, who is also an Israelite, that was in charge of the hem of her verse. In fact, he is the one that brought the blueprint that exempted the Egyptians from suffering from the same scarcity that the whole world is suffering at that time, including the Israelites. What changed? What is the difference? He saw the importance of preparation. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. He prepared for it, knowing fully well that 7 years abundance is coming, but after that, they are going to suffer. Now, during the time of abundance, he has to prepare in order to store enough food that will take care of the famine period. That is number one. Number two is that he has foresight. With your foresight, he wouldn't even think of preparing that particular 7 years of abundance as against using it as solution to 7 years of famine. In other words, we need to ask God for foresight. In that particular vocation you are now, you need to use your present level to secure your next level. Ask God, assuming that if this work I am doing right now is no longer available, what do I do next? How do I survive next? What am I going to use to be able to prepare myself that even if something happens now, I will still survive? That is having foresight. And again, trust in divine guidance. In other words, you should understand that there is always your higher self. There is always your spiritual part. There is always your metaphysical part that relates with God, not just about your physical. To what extent are you spiritually attuned that you connect to your higher self, which connects to your higher being, connects to Almighty God, your guardian angel, where you draw inspiration and insight? It was out of divine guidance that Joseph was able to, one, interpret the dream. He didn't interpret it as a carnal mind, because if it is out of carnality, he would have misinterpreted, which would have shipwrecked the entire nation, if not the entire world. But out of divine direction, he gave proper interpretation, and that proper interpretation lead to subsequent preparation that brought about timely saving of Egypt from that famine, which helped the Israelites to also benefit, and some other nations. And this was exactly what actually united him again with the brothers who actually thought that they had succeeded in terminating his childhood dream, and lo and behold, not knowing that they had become the wheel that helped to push him into that particular destiny. And believe me, when we talk of a kind of law of manifestation, this particular passage, Genesis chapter 41, verse 15 to 26, is a typical example of a chapter that propels and shows us how we can actually break free from all financial limitation and transform from scarcity to abundance. One, now we saw Pharaoh's dream as a visualization tool, where his dream is a form of visualization into future event. We demonstrated the power of our subconscious minds shaping our reality. That's to tell you that we have conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, and to a great extent, our subconscious connect more to what will happen in future, as well as relate to certain information we have stored years back in it. Now, most of the times when we are sleeping, our subconscious is what is actually active, and through the mercy of God, God tries to filter certain information into our subconscious. That is why we should not take our dream for granted. Let's assume that you have gainfully employed in an employment right now, and somehow you sleep and dream that in some time coming that you'll be sacked from that job, or that job will end. Maybe it's a contract job. Is it a time to start binding and losing demons, knowing fully well that this thing has been programmed for a purpose? The Pharaoh did not start binding demons. He became troubled when he couldn't interpret that. He looked for somebody that is more powerful, somebody that will help. Likewise, when you have certain dream and you can't interpret it, look for somebody that is gifted that will help you to discover, shake into it, and then be able to tell you exact meaning of that dream and the step to take. Because there are certain things, no matter how you bind and lose demon, you may not take it away. If we are binding and losing demon that no scarcity will happen, they would have wasted time, because it would have surely happened. But now let's assume that that particular scenario is happening to you. What action step will you take to forestall some of the limitations that may happen in future? And that will lead us to another actionable step you must take: preparation and action. Joseph was proactive to respond quickly to that dream. This illustrated the importance of manifestation of desired outcome. When it was certain that famine is coming, there is going to be a year of abundance, they took some actionable steps to store lots and lots of food during the time of abundance, so that during the time of scarcity, they will be able to have something to eat. Likewise, you notice that there was also ingredient of trust and faith. Joseph trusted in God's guidance, and that interpretation of that dream actually shows the significance of faith in manifestation process. Whatever you want to manifest, you must have a higher level of faith and trust in Almighty God, that He is and rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. And He is the one that said, if anyone lack wisdom, let him ask. So you go to Him and ask for wisdom in order to transform certain scenario that you are not comfortable with, maybe to translate yourself from the level of scarcity to level of abundance. Now, that translation of 7 years of abundance to 7 years of scarcity, where the scarcity was not taken care of by the action they took during the years of abundance is simply dependent on their action and their mindset. It was from their mind they think out solution of how they will solve that problem and then back it up with the action, so much so that they did not end up saving only Egyptians, but Israelites also benefit. So, my dear, we need to tap into our inner wisdom. Every one of us is blessed with inner wisdom. We need to trust our divine guidance. Know that every one of us have guardian angel that to a great extent that guides us, and through our dreams we get also directions, and then we need to take proactive steps in order to manifest our heart desire. Why being mindful of our thought and action? Because three things fuels manifestation: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. When you think it is possible, oh, even if I lose this job, I'm going to be richer, I'll enter into a business, and then I feel it that I will be more even richer, I will never be poor, I'm not going to be listed in poverty. Because of that thoughts and action and feeling, God will begin to give you series of direction or what you will do to break every yoke of a kind of poverty, every yoke of backwardness, everything that will make you to be less than who you are currently.